Greetings to everyone. It is a great honor and privilege to present in this conference. Now I'm going to start my presentation. My study topic is the impact of virtual learning environment for learning mathematics among primary school students in Malaysia. The following are agendas for today's presentation. I will cover 9 agendas as follows: introduction, problem statement, research objective, literature review, methodology, result, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgement, and finally followed by Q&A session. Before I start sharing my findings, let me give you some background ideas about how and why I made this research. As we are aware that the recent rise of e-learning generally and virtual learning particularly has been encouraging the teaching and learning session. Besides, virtual learning also believed able to maximize students' potential in education. Furthermore, virtual learning also playing vital role in making teaching and learning more and more effective and pleasurable for students. In Malaysia, Ministry of Education, with the collaboration of YTL Communication, introduced virtual learning platform called Frog Valley back in 2013. Since then, Frog Valley platform significantly impacted Malaysian education and brought a big change in teaching and learning session. Frog Valley was seen as a strategic teaching aid since it is act as an interactive tool to trigger learning process, especially in mathematics. Okay, next, please allow me to highlight few problems that arises in teaching and learning mathematics in primary schools. Firstly, primary school students mostly have difficulties in developing mathematical knowledge and understanding mathematical concept, which is essential for solving problems in everyday life. Secondly, some students show less interest in mathematics, particularly in basic skills such as rounding of numbers, which is being evaluated in this study. Other than that, teachers also face difficulties in repeating the same topic or part of the content for weaker students, since there's only limited time allocated for mathematics subjects. Finally, many teachers out there are still comfortable in using traditional chalk and talk method, which students prefer 21st century learning style, which integrating multimedia tools. Next, in order to find solutions for the problems mentioned previously, I have planned to integrate Frog Valley platform in teaching rounding of numbers for Year 4 mathematics lesson. Therefore, the two research objectives were chosen and tested in this study. The first RO is to identify the difference in students' learning achievement between traditional classroom and virtual learning classroom. The second RO is to explore the perception of students toward learning mathematics through Frog Valley in terms of learning content and interest. Before conducting this study, many previous studies has been referred. Here are some findings which provide implicit guidelines for conducting this study. First, according to Mosquera, VLE platform allows students to interact with learning content as many times as they want, according to their own pace. Meanwhile, Kuhn et al. Found that VLE can act as a teaching aid. Furthermore, Papanastio and Hernandez both found that VLE helped to improve students' learning in mathematics. Next, I'm going to explain briefly about methodology used in this study. There were 40 Year 4 students from a primary school in Penang were chosen and divided into two groups for this study. This study was designed using quasi-experimental and survey method. Next, pre-test and post-test, which contain 20 objective questions, were used to test RO1, while A questionnaire was used to test RO2. Okay. Data obtained were analyzed in terms of percentage, mean, and standard deviation using SPSS software. As you can see, the following are the results obtained in this study. At the beginning, both control and experimental group does not differ in terms of mathematical knowledge. Subsequently, at the end of the study, the post-test result shows that experimental group performed better than control group. Meanwhile, Matt-Whitney test with a U-value 5 and p-value 0.03 proves that both groups' difference in learning gain was statistically significant. Furthermore, Cohen's D effective size also indicate 0.55, which is a significant effect. Okay, here, the bar chart shows the comparison of the mean score for pre-test and post-test for both groups. Hence, it can be concluded that there's a significant achievement among students in mathematics when learning through proc VLE. Next, for the perception of learning content, the average mean score is 3.42, is nearing the absolute score of 4. This indicates students believe proc VLE helps them in learning mathematics. Meanwhile, for the perception of interest, average mean score is 3.62, which is the highest, shows most of the students strongly agree that their interest in mathematics increases when they learn mathematics using portal proc VLE. Okay, this slide shows the comparison of my study with other findings which support the usage of virtual learning platform in education. I'm quite satisfied with my findings because I was able to find out the impact of frog VLE for learning mathematics among primary school students, particularly in Malaysia. Okay, based on the findings also, I can draw conclusion that VLE could improve students' learning achievement drastically and attract more students in learning mathematics. Besides, majority of participants showed an increase in interest and positive attitude toward VLE. But to admit it, I cannot generalize my finding to whole country since it is limited to a smaller sample size and involve only one school. Thus, it might not also satisfy the expectation of other researchers. So I intend to elaborate more about usage of VLE in my future studies involving other topics and also comparing with other platforms. The conclusion, Proc VLE portal could improve teaching and learning mathematics while improving students' achievement. Furthermore, Proc VLE also seen as an appropriate medium for current COVID-19 pandemic situation where students are learning from home. Thus, usage of Proc VLE portal could attract students toward learning mathematics. Finally, I like to express special gratitude to headmaster, head of panel, subject teacher, the management of Parent and Teacher Association of STKT Ladang Waldo for providing expertise support. A special thanks for Malaysian Ministry of Education for funding this study. Cisco Sendirian Berhad, who provide technical support throughout the study. And last but not least, I thank all the participants in the study. With that, I'm going to end my presentation here. For more information regarding my study, please contact me through the email provided. Thank you for listening.